What's up guys, we're here back again with another Division 2 video. Welcome back. Today's build. Guys, this is something a little bit off the cuff, but is so effective for so much content. I've used this legendaries, I've used this in group synergy, and it's so good solo also, and it delivers so much bang for the buck. Simply because what do you offer? You offer crowd control in abundance. His skills are just back so quickly, the cooldowns are so low, the damage is so high, and of course in a group, this is insane. This is a fun build utilizing the gunner specialization with the Banshee Pulse. We know that by now, you can see the gameplay. It is highly underutilized, but it is so powerful in the right situation. This build is something I probably recommend to anyone that wants something like this, that wants to just go hell for leather with crowd control. The guys in the Discord will be quite pleased with this build, I'm sure they will, because you don't have to really farm for this build. It's a build you can just slap together and really harness the power of, yes, guys, you've guessed it by now, Creeping Death and the chest piece talent, which we'll talk about shortly. But guys, yes, we've got a Discord, feel free to join, the link is in the description. Loads of woonigans in there, so to speak. Loads of good quality people who like to matchmake and sort out places for raids. So guys, check the link out in the description. And then guys, yes, as always, if you enjoy the video, you know what to do. Thumbs a doodle, it helps, it truly does. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to drop the WOOO bomb on the sub button, ding the bell to be notified when I upload my shizzle peeps. Let's do this. Guys, this is the build. This is what I've been using, and this is something, put it on. Just put it on and you will see what I'm talking about. But I'm going to go through and dissect it piece by piece and explain in layman's terms why I'm using this and why it's so effective. But you can see I am rolling with the gunner specialization, which is not really geared towards skill builds. It's not, is it? It's more of like a DPS kind of setup. But with this build, it isn't. This is a skill build utilizing the gunner spec because I'm using the Banshee Pulse. Disorient galore. Crowd control galore. That makes the DPS's life so much easier. Especially in legendary content. You can just spam those skills, and what can happen, yes guys, what can happen is your teammates will really reap the rewards from you doing your job effectively, efficiently, by not doing a hell of a lot of work, if you get what I'm trying to say. With this build, guys, it is something for all scenarios. It is for all types of content because it is so damn freaking effective. It's great. Let me break this down step by step, and of course, you know what to do. Thumbs doodle. Yes, I've said that already. Guys, yes, let's go through this. I am 0 offensive, 0 defensive, and 6 utility stats. I am rolling with 726k armor, 330k health, 6 skill tiers. I'm a little bit squishy with this build. A little bit squishy for my play style. And before I go into it, let me just add this. Now, my skill build style, way I roll, I want to be up close and personal. I want to be effective. I want to cause damage. I want to get in NPCs' faces. I am an aggressive player. So skills, maybe not the best way to roll, in all honesty, but I find it the most fun and most challenging concepts for me in my style. With this is great because this is not a sit back and cover and just wait kind of build. What this build does, you can chop and change the primary skill. The primary skill is a striker drone on this build. You can use the assault turret if you wanted to. You can use a different skill if you wanted to. However, the striker drone pairs really nicely with my style. The assault turret will put in an extra bit of shift and maybe a bit more damage for you in your style. Guys, let me know what you think in the comment section. But this is beautiful. It truly is. The mask, guys, is Eclipse Protocol. We know what this is by now. This is a really fantastic skill build gear set. This is all about status effects. If you're wearing the 2-piece, you're going to gain 15% status effects. If you've got the 3-piece attached, you're going to have 15% skill haste, which is key. 30% hazard protection for that survivability. And the 4-piece is indirect transmission. Your status effects now spread on kill to all enemies within 10 meters and refresh 50% of the duration. Brilliant. I'm rolling with the 4-piece, but you've probably seen in the image last, I don't have the chest piece, I don't have the backpack. I'll explain why shortly. What you want to do with this, guys, is when you go for the pieces, get status effects everywhere. Don't worry so much about damage. The status effects, the prolonged tick of damage through bleed, burn, disorient. If you've got a vile mask, that's also an option. There's so many different ways you can roll with this for damage. It's great. I've opted for status effects all day long. So I want the crowd control. I want it singing from the same hymn sheet every single time. So for me, status effects all day long. And as you can see, a God Sausage Roll 12% skill haste utility mod. God roll. The holster, guys, is again Eclipse Protocol. You can see status effects again. The song remains the same. That's what you need to get everywhere where possible on this for it to really, really shine. Knee pads again, guys. The third piece of Eclipse Protocol. It is status effects as the attribute. And the gloves, guys, simply status effects again. So the 4-piece Eclipse Protocol, I've opted for not the chest and not the backpack, and all the pieces that are there, they are status effects. Let's go for the backpack. The backpack is Wyvernware. I'm rolling with the 2-piece, which is important on this build. Why? You can see skill damage, status effects. I want my skills to do some damage on one of my skills, admittedly. The second one, you can't. And the next option is again status effects, which is the second piece of the brand set. You could have golden gear. If you have that for the 1-piece, then you could have skill damage, i.e. Wyvernware for the 1-piece. If you don't have 2-piece Wyvern, my Urk and my Quip is again golden gear. Is trying to find the right piece, the right relevant piece where you need to re-roll the armor onto a skill tier. I don't have that, but this is the best piece that I have, which has Creeping Death for this build. You can see I could get status effects a little bit higher. I just need to get some credits, resources to boost that up a little bit to get that to max roll. So guys, for this you can see status effects, which is key all day long, skill damage, which is nice for one of your skills, and of course that 12% God roll skill haste mod. Creeping Death. When you apply a status effect, it is also applied to all enemies within 8 meters of your target, and the cooldown is 15 seconds. Very, very simple, guys. Once you drop that status effect, it's gonna spread like wildfire every 15 seconds. This is unlike the Vile Mask. It does pair really well with the Vile Mask, because what that does, it gives damage to enemies. Damage, not spread of status effects. Just damage. That's it. Now, Creeping Death is an excellent talent to have on any skill build, especially this. This is fantastic. Once you deliver a status effect, you are going to spread this like wildfire. And given the skills that I have, and my primary being the Banshee Pulse, you know what's going to happen? Boom. They are screwed. Simple disorient for a long period of time. Creeping Death, amazing for status effects builds. It is amazing, trust me. You could go for the Eclipse Protocol backpack. What does that offer? That will offer you that symptom aggravator. Applies all damage you deal to status affected targets by 30%. So you get the extra 30% damage. However, Creeping Death every 15 seconds, that 8 meter radius, you are, again, this is a crowd control build. So it's not a case of causing too much damage. What it is doing is spreading that status effects, which is prolonged CC. Yes, guys, for your DPSs to absolutely rinse and shred them. That's why Creeping Death, I feel, is key on this build. By all means, use the symptom aggravator, the Eclipse Protocol backpack. You can if you want to. Creeping Death is beautiful. The chest piece is the second piece of Wyvernware. It is skill haste. Skill damage, again, I'm getting resources to get this leveled up a little bit. And then it's skill haste, God roll. It's all about tag team. Tag team. You could use something else if you wanted to. That is entirely up to you. And that's the beauty of building mechanics in Division 2. Is that you can really put on what you want and what suits you and your style. But for me, what I wanted to, again, deliver the Banshee Pulse as often as I can on this build. And to do that, I need tag team. I genuinely need tag team. I want that high amount of status effects, but also the ability to keep spamming it is exactly what you want. That's why tag team is one of the best talents in the game for a skill build. 4 skills that have a really silly cooldown. The last enemy you have damaged with a skill is marked. Dealing weapon damage to that enemy consumes the mark to reduce active cooldowns by 6 seconds. The cooldown is 4 seconds. Simple. So the good thing with this is, the beauty of this is, it works so well with your skill. So once you deliver the Banshee Pulse, you have the Striker Drone dealing damage to said enemies. Aim for one of those enemies that has been tagged. Tap them, tag them, whatever you want to do, shoot them, for Christ's sake, and then you will knock 6 seconds off the cooldown of the Banshee Pulse. 4 seconds later, again, you still have the striker drone putting in the shift, putting in the work, tagging NPCs, keep shooting. So it's back so fast with the Banshee Pulse. You can just keep spamming this effectively, efficiently, and God, make sure you will have tag team on your chest piece, guys. It is so good. There are other options, of course. You could use the Eclipse Protocol chest piece if you wanted to. That's fine. And I use this on some builds. And what this does, it increases the range from indirect transmission from 10 to 15, and the duration from 50% to 75%. That's good. Again, it just spreads it a little bit more, which is fine. But tag team, that gets me my, again, skills back quicker, my Banshee Pulse back quicker. So for me, I'd rather have that just spamming it all day long. It's so good. Skills, guys. The first skill is the striker drone. You can use whatever you want. It is entirely up to you. You see, there's not a lot of skill damage on this build. So the damage from the striker drone is a little bit low. Given I have the capacitor, that will be elevated a little bit, and that will tick at some nice decent numbers, given it's not a skill damage build. It's a 14.5 second cooldown. The damage is 51,565. A skill tier 6, of course. In terms of the mods, it's duration, health, and damage. Now, my primary skill is the Banshee Pulse. And what I'm going to do is demonstrate in the range how good this is. It's so good. So it has a 17.3 second cooldown. The duration is 12 seconds. 12 seconds. The effect duration is 11.8 seconds. The radius is 51 freaking meters. The cone angle is 32. And this is what we're looking at. Radius, effect duration. That's what I've opted for on this. It works very, very nicely. What you got to think about with this build is you can just keep spamming this. And as you've seen in the gameplays in the background, it's so effective. It is so powerful. And again, it keeps enemies fixed in place for you, your DPSs, to put the shift in, put the hard work in. And that's where the Banshee Pulse, again, you have to run the gunner spec. But still, if you do run the gunner spec and you do run the Banshee Pulse, this is, in my opinion, the best way to roll. It is so effective. It's so good, guys. Truly is. Weapons, I always opt for the capacitor. Someone will say, test subject is great. 40% damage is great. It's straight from the bat. It's awesome. It is, guys. It is. I do not disagree. For me and my style, I find the capacitor more effective. One, you can reach up to 60% skill damage, great, and up to 45% weapon damage extra. And maintaining those stacks are very, very simple, in my opinion. Again, once you're out of combat and you've spent some time out of the battle scene, that will drop and that percentage will diminish. Of course it will. But I like the capacitor and what it offers, the utility, the versatility to be so good in so many builds. Test subject, the Harmony are great choices. They really are. So if you don't have a capacitor, I recommend the test subject or the Harmony. Great, great choice. For me, I love the capacitor. I can't see past this for the way I play the game. Again, it could be different for you guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Capacitance. Shooting enemies builds stacks to a cap of 40. Each stack grants 1.5% skill damage after 5 seconds. Stacks decay 1 per second. So that's 60% skill damage. For each skill tier gain, 7.5% weapon damage. So overall, that's 45% weapon damage you'll gain from this off the bat. It's nice. And that's 60% skill damage. Again, just keeping those 40 stacks, keep shooting those NPCs. What will happen? You've got that constant baked in 60% skill damage to really deliver some serious carnage and damage to those bad guys. Mods, guys, crit chance, rounds, crit damage, weapon handling. My secondary is the Everlasting Gaze. You can switch to this. It is so effective. Perfect perpetuation. Headshots grant 50% status effect damage and duration to the next status effect you apply. It's just a Banshee Pulse, which is great. It's all about that duration, but it's only on the first NPC. That's one thing to add. It's not on every one you affect. It's just the first one you pop that headshot. But still a vital tool in your arsenal. Crit chance rounds, crit chance and critical hit damage. The sidearm is the backup boomstick. Don't worry too much. I don't use this at all. You can change it wherever you want. Card custom, whatever. Card custom will be effective. Use that. That's fine. I don't use pistols. In all fairness, I stick to my AR capacitor or switch to the Everlasting Gaze. Really, really effective. Now, guys, let me just take this to the range. I'll explain. I'll show you how this works. I'll demonstrate. If I can run a little bit quicker. Right, let's go. And this is how powerful this build is. Let's just change the skill haste, get that disabled. And let's just go here, pop capacitor on. Let's just pop this, let's just pop some damage. Firstly, let's just change this as well. Let's get on very, very hard. And you see the red skull, that is the NPC's tagged, which is brilliant. It won't, again, go to grey because I've not used the Banshee Pulse yet. But just check this out. Again, if I just shoot that one there, that's 6 seconds gone. And it's back again. This is how effective it is. Banshee Pulse again. And again, there's no special skill haste enabled on here, nothing like that. None of that crap. And again, the Striker Drone, and we know how effective that is. It's really, really strong on this build. It's so good. Just leave it to do the work. Leave it to use Tag Team. Really fully utilize it to get your Banshee Pulse back quicker. And you have an absolutely beast of a build. It truly is. But guys, yeah, this is it. My Banshee Pulse build for PV content. You try this in anything other than the raid, you'll be laughing all the way to the WOOO bank. And of course, guys, I will see you in the next one. Peace.